developments that have been going on, but we're going to talk a little bit to them. As to Honda, this was already something that we had heard was going to take place. By the way, if anything does not happen correctly, it's because we're trying to get ready for this coming up week. We're going to be here live for testing. So getting a new system up, getting new displays up, trying to be sure that we could be efficient when testing comes so we can share the pictures, the times, all that good stuff. But right now we're going to talk about the Honda power move. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody surprised about this shit? I'm not surprised about this. I mean, let's just be honest. This sport is a what have you done for me lately sport, whether that be clients, whether that be the teams, whether that be the drivers. People want to know, what the hell have you done for me lately? All right. What the hell have you done for me lately? And I think with everything that we've seen, what's going on, Musa? Testing sessions testing is going to be from Thursday, Friday, all the way up to Saturday. Okay. As far as how far we'll go into testing, I am going to be popping tall up and early. I will be up at midnight Eastern Standard Time to prepare to be on with you guys, probably around 1:45 in the morning, and then go on from there depending on what I have going on. Okay, of course, you got to know I got therapy, I got other stuff going on. So we're going to be here for a while, though. I might even have some honey buns, but let's just go into this from just a general standpoint of methodical thinking. Like I said, this is a what have you done for me lately sport. What have you done for me? And as of right now, let's just keep it real and be honest. Red Bull has been a very well performing team when it comes to performance and pace in these last few seasons. That is just the honest truth. Okay. That's the honest truth about what's been going on, the honest truth about what you've been seeing. And you can't be mad at that, right? I don't think you could be mad at that at all. I think some of us need to be aware that when these things do happen, teams are going to want to try to pretty much. I'm glad we got on here like this. Teams are going to want to try to get on with the boat as soon as possible. All right. They're going to want to know, what can I get? Who do I need to be with? All of that good stuff. That is something they're going to be looking into. So they're going to want a piece of that. We've seen that teams have adopted some of the Ferrari side pod designs. Teams have adopted definitely the Red Bull philosophy side pod design. Teams are adopting these things because they have noticed that these two teams have performed well within the new regulations, and they want a bit of that. I had already said prior to all of this that Honda was a big part and a big reason why Red Bull was as successful as they were. Now, we know they had problems coming into the season. They worked out those reliability issues. They got those things together. And then after that, they ran away with the championship. Now, we're not talking about 2021. We're talking about 2022. And yes, we know the cost cap situation, all that took place. Yeah. That is true. It happened. We're not going to dismiss it. And we definitely going to still talk to that at a later date. But the fact is, Honda has done this. Now, this is the thing that's going to come up. Honda's decided that, I don't want to be tied down to one person. I don't want to be in a monogamous relationship. I want to date. I want to go out. I want to date. I want to see what else is out there. And with that happening, we've heard that Mclaren has entered into talks with Honda. We heard that like 2 weeks, a week ago. I was going to do a video on that, and we've been busy doing other things, but we heard about that. And right then and there, I knew, is McLaren willing to separate their ties with Mercedes? Is Aston Martin willing to separate their ties with Mercedes? Williams, I do not believe as much so. I think Williams have a bit more of a bridge and a union with Mercedes than these other teams do. But I do think McLaren, given their previous relationship in history, although didn't end the best, and I do most certainly think that Aston Martin could be one of those teams to decide to go with the Honda power unit, given Lawrence Stroll is almost in a Jerry Jones situation. He wants to try to get a championship now. He doesn't want to wait till he's old. He doesn't want to wait till he's any older anyway. He strikes me as the Jerry Jones type. Although Jerry Jones said that there's no size to the check I would write to get a championship. Not always true. Not always that we've seen. And they got a cost cap, but still, Jerry Jones has been the type to want to draft and crop and groom versus go out into the free agent open market and do something. But if Vettel doesn't retire, I don't know if Aston Martin decides to move on from Vettel. So I really can't get that sense from Lawrence. Lawrence made a move based off of something that was already done. Vettel was retired. Alonso jumped ship with Alpine. He acquired him. Is Lawrence willing to drop his relationship with Mercedes and go with Honda? I think if some of these teams do that, we still have at least, 3 years before 2026 hits and the new regulations happen where the MGUH drops off and they have to do all of this. Not to mention Audi's coming in too, right? And depending on how they do, some teams might start looking at those power units if they start performing well. But I think if these teams jump ship, they're jumping ship too early. I think it's too early. I think that, of course, they're going to want to write Mercedes off a bit because they don't seem like the dominant team, because in the last 2 seasons, maybe you could say that they haven't been. In the last 1 season, all right, I think it was a very good battle happening in 2021. So as far as I'm concerned on that, we'll have to see. But yeah, we're going to go into a lot of these things and try to find out what these teams are going to do. Like I said, I think it would be too early if they jump now, but I do understand the whole concept of trying to look, where do we get the edge? Where can we get the competitive edge? Where can we get on an even playing field with a dominant team such as Red Bull right now, so that we can perhaps keep them from being as dominant and compete with them. And with that being said, you're going to adopt those side pods. You're going to adopt those inlets of Ferrari. You're going to adopt the power unit of Honda if they're going to make themselves available 2025 and go. These are the things that all teams, including McLaren, all teams have to consider, really, outside of the teams that aren't their own power unit manufacturers like Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine. I know they're not going to be in there because they're Renault, so they're going to be in their own bag, and then so on. So that's pretty. And Ferrari, and a Ferrari with Haas, of course, because Haas is so deep in bed with Ferrari, they literally share cappuccino or damn espresso machine. So that ain't happen. Zero, I think the Red Bull really needs to rethink their situation. If Honda steps away from Red Bull, they are not to be able to produce an engine, let alone top performing one. And that's another situation. Now, remember, people said I was crazy when I did a video a while back talking about it's going to be hard for Red Bull and Max to try to go on an undisturbed streak all the way up until 2026 or 2028 when his contract's up, without a bunch of variables happening. These are the variables that I'm talking about. Gifted Sylvia Kelly, big shout out for gifting a Wolfpack membership. Shout out Sylvia Kelly for doing that. Ben Xbox Fortress also did it. Big shout out to you. Big shout out Sylvia Kelly for that. So also, I'm going to be sure we're going to be coming on live a little bit more and more as the days progress to two damn testing to make sure we get all the damn bugs, as many bugs as we can, worked out of this setup. Right now, I see some of the things on YouTube talking about the widgets, so I'm going to work with the streaming process. But yeah, that is what I want to say. You got to have, there's a lot of variables that could take place. People think Red Bull and Max are about to go on this dominant streak for like 4 years. That's tough. It's hard. It's rough. It's not easy. Not everybody can do that. Okay. And with a lot of things changing, a lot of teams and a lot of other things starting to get in the pot, that's going to be hard to do. And I told a lot of people this, and now we're starting to see some of the oil bubble up to the surface and present itself. Okay. Honda thinking about sorting out of making itself available. Ford coming in with Red Bull, trying to develop their own power unit, 2025 or 20. Although there's been mention of Ford being very successful in rally car, I do not see Ford coming into Formula One as they did before, having to go under the Cosworth name and just rebadge. I don't see Ford coming right in being hella competitive. I don't see it. So that's another situation Red Bull's going to have to worry about. So I'm just telling you this. I'm just being honest about the situation. So let's just keep those things into perspective and let's go from there. I will probably see you all later on another live if possible, if not tomorrow, because we're going to be trying to kick these up, get all this stuff tied up. Like, I've literally been back and forth to the electronics store 3 times a day just on parts that didn't work, and now we're in some type of working fashion. So I'm working hard to try to increase things, especially for the race coming up this weekend. We got a grudge race and a regular race at 11 a.m. and I will announce that track. All right. So listen, peace and love. Thanks for hopping on here with me. We're gonna get on again. Come on back so we can straight test this. Galacticus, you my sound check man. Sound check this. Let me know what you think. I still got to plug in some other plugins. We're gonna get this thing up and running, testing. I'm excited as shit. Testing is coming, baby. Oh, testing is coming. I'm excited as hell. Stick around. All right, Wolfpack fam, I will see you later. Shout out. Join us all the time. Peace.